I believe you.
Yeah. Make sure everybody's up on these things, up on the mics.
Get up on that mic.
Take 2.
Throwback.
No pressure.
All the pressure.
Hey, welcome to another episode of This Is Our Normal podcast. I'm your host, Saul Jones. I'm your host, Saul Jones, and I'm sitting here with the usual suspects, my co-host, Brian Hoodie.
That's me.
Don't call him Sweatshirt. And our producer, as always, Joel Cowan.
Hey, guys.
And then the guest of the week this week, you guys know him from episode 2. It was Nasty Nate, Nathen Lord. He's back, and he's still sober, and he's got some more stuff for us. What's going on, Nate?
Not much, bro. Just chilling.
So, but before we get started, I do want to remind everybody, go to our website at thisisournormalpodcast.com. You can find everything out about us there. There's all our links to everywhere that you can find us, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Music, Stitcher, all that good stuff. You guys know the deal. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can also get the links on the website there and all the episodes that are been played before. As always, This Is Our Normal is brought to you by the Serenity House Sober Living in South Orange County, California. We have men's and women's house. If you are looking for sober living, hit the contact link on the website at thisisournormalpodcast.com and we will hook it up. We
Best of the best.
highly recommend this place. Highly.
Highly.
I have to point out, I love that little music thing loop you played. Sounds like I'm playing Sega.
Yeah, actually, Joel.
Yes, compliments.
Joel made that beat.
That's me.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. So, let's jump right into this, man. You know, I know that, you've struggled with, like, depression and stuff like that in the past. A lot of us can relate to that. I want to get into a little bit of that here in a bit. But I like to start these out a little funner, kind of goofy, get us going a bit. Do you have any, silly, crazy story from using? Just something fun? What's something ridiculous you've done when getting high? What's the most stupid thing you've been arrested?
Like I went to jail for a night, but it wasn't like a funny story or anything. But
you got on here.
I got convinced a cop.
Yeah,
sober. It's fun, but
that.
kind of gets a little sad at the end. But it's mostly
let me hear
fun.
this. Convince a cop. What did you convince him?
Well,
why were you convincing him?
I was leaving a friend's house. We partied. I was shit faced.
Okay.
And crossfaded and whatnot. And I was driving home. I brought my Xbox TV, passenger seat.
Right.
I go,
Had it buckled in.
Yeah, definitely. I go grab some Taco Bell,
Yeah.
And as I'm on my way back from Taco Bell, it's like song that I love comes on the radio, and I'm like bumping, just having a hell of a time.
Yeah.
Going 50
and
miles
it's
per
fuck
hour.
the police.
Yeah, pretty much. No.
With the windows down.
Yeah.
It was Barbie Girl.
Okay.
Throwback.
But I'm going 50 and a 30, and I didn't realize it, and I see a cop up ahead, posted in this school parking lot.
Right.
And I'm like, shit. So I start slowing down, and then right when I pass him, he pulls out behind me, and I'm like, fuck. So I pull on the next street, get in the left lane, does the same, puts his lights on, and I'm like, damn it, I'm probably going to jail tonight, dude. So I pull over, and I'm just like, okay, let's sober the fuck up and try and convince them, dude.
Yeah, let's sober up.
Okay, I got about 5 seconds before it gets to my window.
I
Let me
better
sober up.
let me just belch this all out real quick.
Place his IV in his arm.
Right.
So yeah, he comes to the window, routine,
That's usually what
license
they
and
do.
registration, and then I'm like, all right, here you go. And he's like, do you know why I pulled you over? And I was like, not a clue. So he's like, well, your license plate light is out. I was like,
Okay.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for letting me know.
Yeah.
And he's looking at my ID, looks at me with this suspect look on his face, and he's like, so, you do anything fun or interesting tonight?
A bunch of drugs and alcohol.
Right. And I'm trying to piece together in my head really quick
So
what to say.
what's he do here? He pulls you out of the car?
No. I look over, I realize I forgot that my TV and Xbox were there, and I'm like, no, I just brought my Xbox TV to my friend's house at a game night. You know, nothing interesting, but it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, okay. And he's like, all right, well, I'll be right back. Does this thing, comes back, and he's like, all right, just drive safe. have a good night. I'm like,
Okay.
cool.
It's
That's
nice.
it?
You get out of there.
So yeah, I start pulling off, second roll on my windows up. I'm just laughing hysterically, you know, like just a madman. Cause I'm like, this motherfucker didn't know. I'm so drunk, you know.
Yeah.
And then I get home, pull in the driveway. I'm still laughing about it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like checking for everything that I brought with me.
He's got your ID.
No.
Oh.
I check my pouch, like my hoodie pouch.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the fuck is in here?
Yeah.
And then pull it out, and it's just, I forgot I packed I had a giant bowl.
Oh, wow.
Like literally, it's
of
like,
weed.
like maybe 6 inches is a
No,
big
it's all
bowl.
frosted flakes.
And
Eats
like
it.
you could pack
That's
like
bull-
2 G's in there. And
Jesus.
it
So
was
you got
filled.
away with that. You got out of there with that.
And I already ripped it once.
Oh my
So
God.
it reeked. So I'm
Yeah.
like, that's why he was asking me if I did anything fun or interesting. He smelled that shit.
You're
Hey.
so lucky, man.
Dude.
So lucky you
was.
got out of there.
I started laughing, but then it turned into crying and sobbing because I was really suicidal and depressed.
Oh,
So I just
geez.
started ripping the bowl.
Trying to
Yeah.
escape a little.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've struggled with that a lot, depression, right?
Since I was 13.
Yeah. What's behind that? What do you think's brought that on?
Well, when I was a kid, I have an autistic brother. I'm the youngest of 3.
Yeah.
And for the first 5 years of my life, my autistic brother beat me, tortured me, and tried murdering me. Would
Jesus.
stab me.
Holy
Pretty
shit.
much very violent
God.
upbringing.
Holy shit,
And
man.
I suppressed it for a majority of my life.
Jesus.
And I think in the back of my mind, it really fucked with me.
I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
So
So how long did that go on for?
the abuse
Yeah, man.
till I was 5, and then my parents had to put him in a group home
Yeah.
because he was
Oh,
too
man.
violent, and it was for my own safety.
That
Yeah.
sucks, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
I mean, there was this one time I was, I think, 3, and I thought we were playing tag, and we're running around the house in circles, and I'm just laughing, giggling, smiling, having a good time, until like I realize he's screaming at the top of his lungs, and I look back and see a knife, or another time a fork in his hand, and that's when I realized we're not playing a game here.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot
my
of times
God.
like that.
So okay, so you're dealing with this abuse at such a young age. I mean, that's going to be pretty traumatic. And I said before, trauma is stored in the same part of the brain as addiction. It's stored in the midbrain, and while it can't cause us to become addicts, it can make our addiction stronger. It can make it worse. If it's not dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
What did you do to deal with your trauma?
Well, till I was 13 or 14, nothing.
Did
I
you-
started smoking weed at 14.
So you self-medicated.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I was on like antidepressants and anxiety, paranoia meds, but I kind of after a while just hated the feeling of feeling like a zombie, and started getting to the point where I'm like mind over matter.
Right.
I don't want to just numb my issues. I'd rather work on them and deal with them and learn how to work through them. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. So what steps did you take towards that?
To working on things myself.
Yeah.
Kind of just
Because are you-
self-reflecting.
Are you depressed now? Do you struggle with that now?
No, I
Not
don't
as
really
much.
deal with depression or suicide.
Good.
Yeah.
Old thoughts like
Yeah.
I used to. It's a blessing, honestly.
Yeah. Walk me through like what you do. What's your daily routine now that you're sober and you're to keep yourself from going back to that depression? What do you do on a daily basis?
I feel a little embarrassed saying this, but I love singing.
That is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe he just said that.
But
No, that's cool, man.
that's
Whatever.
it's like my healthy
works.
addiction.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So
That's really cool.
I have this karaoke app that I use, and I can't go to a karaoke bar.
What's
so
it called?
It's called Smule. Why do you?
Me and Saul used to send each other. That's funny.
Oh, for real?
Oh yeah, we'd battle back and forth.
Dude, we would just. Oh, that was awesome.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah,
great.
no, I do that. And
Snap back.
helps me feel
Clap
better.
back. So
Cool.
you do this? Do you do it with other people? Like I used to do it with
Yeah.
Huddy.
Yeah, you can like do a live jam, go live, and then people join you.
What's your go-to song?
I have a lot, but my number one go-to is Hotel California.
Let's hear it.
Fuck right now.
Yeah, fuck right now.
Yeah, fuck.
Just
You
give us a
for
little
real?
piece. A little piece.
Fuck. Okay, let me wet some of my whistling.
I mean, right,
Let your
guys? We want
whistler-
to hear a little bit of this.
No, we want to hear it for
Yeah, let's hear
sure.
Yeah. Joel just took his headphones
Damn
off
it.
and plugged his ears. That was a little weird.
Yeah.
Joel, don't be such a dick,
Joel, can
man.
you hear us?
Sometimes. No, I hear you. I hear you guys.
All right, here we go. Let's hear a
Let me
little
try
piece.
and unnerve myself.
This
real
is
quick.
Nathen Lord. He's going to give us a little taste of his karaoke.
Get the
Get in
the
there.
beat going on with your phone, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you want
If
me
that's
to
gonna
pull it
help
up?
you,
Do you want me
I
to
don't
sing
know.
it for
Unless
you?
you want to just.
Just
Just
the
get it. Let's just hear
and
the
then you
melody.
can
No,
sing.
no. Let's just go. Hop on this.
On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of eucalyptus rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light.
Ow.
My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There you go.
That's
Cool.
fucking awesome, man.
Nice.
I'm too nervous
Dude,
for that
and
shit,
ballsy
bro.
to just hop on there
Hell
like
yeah.
that. That's pretty key.
Props.
My
Yeah.
heart's like...
That's work.
You did good, man.
You did great, dude. So you sing a lot, and that that's part of your therapy, music therapy.
Yeah, honestly.
How did you learn that was something that makes you feel better and takes away some of the depression? Were you taught that in treatment or something?
No, actually, music's my life.
Okay.
I play guitar, bass, piano, drums.
Shit.
And I've been singing since I was 11, but I was garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of am garbage still.
No,
but-
dude.
No,
No,
man,
see,
you're good.
no, that's our self.
So that's your new way of self-medicating. Man.
yeah.
Pretty much. I've always loved
That's
music.
perfect.
Always gives me that. It was always the one thing when I dealt with depression or suicide, for not suicide, but you know what I mean.
Well,
Like
suicide.
suicidal-
I mean,
Well, suicidal
Tendencies?
tendencies,
Yeah.
yeah. Like throughout my life, the only time I actually felt like I was living or was alive was when I sing.
okay.
So like when I, got sober this time, I'm like, you know what? I'm fucking terrified to sing in front of people
Yeah.
or just kind of just express myself like that. So
Right.
I'm like, fuck it, dude. If this is going to keep me alive
Yeah.
and keep me sober, then I'm going to fucking do it.
That's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
What? How do you've had some darkness before? What do you do to battle your depression and all that now? that
Dude,
you're,
I gotta say, honestly, no matter how bad life gets these days, I don't ever go to that place anymore.
how do you stay out of it though?
I don't have an answer to that, to be honest. I just surround myself with good people. I keep good people in my life, and
Good
I don't
person. Good. He surrounds himself with good person. Keeps good person. In
I
his life.
said people.
Me. I'm saying.
Oh yeah. I was like, did I? Yeah, good person.
Yeah.
Mr. Jones. No, but it's, dude, like I said before, I was on medications and shit from a very young age, and I don't know if any of it helped, but I did stop taking all of it when I was 18, and I used drugs since then, and then now that I'm off of drugs and all that, I just, I don't know, man, I just enjoy being alive now.
Yeah.
I'm just happy,
I think.
feel that.
Yeah. I mean, there's that study that a lot of people talk about. I think it was done at Harvard. Don't quote me on that, but there's a study where they took mice. It's a pretty well known one. They took mice and they put them in a cage where all they could do was hit a button and either get cocaine or they could get food. Right.
I'm very familiar with this study.
Yeah, and so the rat always chose cocaine.
Yeah.
But then they went and took those same rats and or probably different rats, but they put them in those
If we're
rats
being
probably
honest.
died of cocaine addiction. But so they took different rats and they put them in cages with an environment, a little playground, little female rats to
Little
fuck
thing.
with, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't. And when they had this great environment, the rats stopped choosing the cocaine, and I think the same thing has been kind of proven with us, addicts,
Definitely.
human addicts,
Yeah,
non-rat addicts.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed when I'm like, that's part of the reason I chose sober living this time, was just being in an environment where I'm surrounded by another group of dudes and just, having a good time.
Yeah.
Anytime I get down, I can go hang out with, there's always someone here.
Yeah, it could be good or bad. You pick a trap house sober living that's $400 a month, and
No, and I'm not just
anything goes, then it's all bad.
I'm not just saying this because we're sponsored by Serenity, but this is the cleanest, most well put together sober living I've ever seen in my life.
That's the point. He does that on purpose.
Yeah.
It's structured, and it's to help everyone that comes here succeed.
Yeah, and I mean at the same time, even right when I got here, if I needed a pass to go somewhere, it was where are you going, what are you doing, but
sure.
but then approved as long as I came back sober.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I don't know. I think it's really important. The sober living's been a huge key for me.
Yeah, it's a good
this
stepping
time around.
stone for sure, and I think you needed it this time.
Oh yeah, because I have a pattern myself. My pattern is hoodie knows.
Oh, yeah, I know your pattern, bro.
What's my pattern?
Your pattern is you get good, you start working out again, and then you hit Tinder. And I'm just gonna stop right there because that's pretty much.
I understand totally.
To be fair, I'm very successful at this. No,
My apartment smells of many leather-bound books. Rich mahogany.
I'll be honest with you, it smells like pure gasoline.
People know me.
No,
Alright, so-
but so my pattern's been where I start doing things right, but I'm living where I've rented a room from somebody or something like that, but it's not been where I'm in a sober group where I have sober. Like, don't get me wrong, the people I lived with were awesome and they were actually pretty sober.
They were.
That's not what I mean.
But
I just mean a group that knows addicts to look for, spot for things, if and kind accountability, which it should never be put on the people that you live with anyways.
No.
But because I'm not ready yet, because I haven't trained myself, I realize this time around I need to be somewhere where I'm still being held accountable.
I'm so glad you made that choice, man.
Me too.
It's like you really needed it this time.
I did, and it's hard to do at first because it's like you have that thing inside you. It's that pride of like, I'm 29 years old. I should be able to. I'm my own man. I'm a grown up. Let me go do my own thing. And it's like, nah, dude, it
takes a bigger man to admit when they're not ready.
Thank you.
And do things accordingly. And I'm so happy to see you doing so well, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. So Nate, you're working on things to retrain your activities. You do singing. What else do you do?
Well, I mean, currently, I don't really have much friends around here, so all I do is
I've noticed nobody really likes you.
Yeah, what's with that?
It's because I'm nasty.
It's because he's always singing.
Yeah,
he's always singing.
So, okay, man. You got a story on here that talks about people relapsing. It just says relapse on kratom. What was that experience like? You didn't relapse yourself, but you witnessed others relapsing on kratom.
Well, pretty much this new guy came into the program and then just moved into the house and was there for maybe a couple days.
This is at a treatment center.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he brought kratom in and introduced it to a few guys, and then a few guys to the whole house except for me. There's 9 of us, and 8 out of them did it. And they even offered it to me and tried to get me to do it with them, but I was like, no, thank you. Just no. Like, of course I wanted to. I was triggered and tempted, but the first thing that came to my mind was, I'm actually starting to, for the first time in my life, enjoy myself and enjoy living in my skin. And I've always wanted to kill myself because I hated who I was, hated myself, and couldn't live being me.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing I go to when I am tempted. I'm like, do I really want to be suicidal again? Right. Do I really want to be miserable again?
You do that.
Fuck that.
Well, that's one of those things where, what is it, play the tape forward, they call it, or whatever.
Exactly. That's one of the most important things, I think, in recovery is being able to picture yourself, okay, what's this going to lead to? What's going to happen because of it? What are the consequences going to be? Yeah. And when you start to recognize your triggers and you handle them accordingly, before things get out of control, that's major, man.
Have you had an experience like that before, Huddy, where you
I think it just comes with time.
Yeah.
I think it happens for everyone if you let it, but yeah, for sure. I've had triggers and this and that, and where was I? I just totally lost train of thought.
What I was gonna say is, I noticed I'll go to kind of relapse. Is what I want to talk about, because there's, we go to these treatment centers and we're
sorry.
Yeah, well, we're taught our triggers, like you were saying. Yeah. You're taught triggers. You're taught coping mechanisms to battle these triggers. At least I was, But my thing was, when I got out, I was still new at using these. It was a new skill to learn. So I know my triggers, but then when I'm trying to use these new coping mechanisms, I wasn't successful right away, and I beat the hell out of myself for it, because I'm like, why can't I stay sober? I want this. I want to stay sober, and I just couldn't fucking do it.
Right. Yeah.
And it took me a minute to learn. It's gonna take time to perfect, like any skill. It's gonna take time for me to perfect these coping mechanisms. I still don't have it figured out. Don't get me wrong, but it's taking me time. I'm kind of learning as I go. The biggest thing that's helped me is I realized, if I do fall, just get the fuck back up, and just go. It's like you said, you've been to treatment how many times, Nate? 6?
6, yeah.
See, I noticed people get really like, oh my God, 6 times, you're fucked. You're never gonna figure this out.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Well, no, my thing is I see it as like, this dude keeps getting back up. This is an ongoing thing. I'm not saying relapse is an acceptable thing. What I'm saying is we should be battling them, and the relapses are they are probably going to happen. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They should just get fewer and far between, and last longer or shorter each time.
And what I meant to say before is, because of being able to recognize what's happening and plan ahead, or rather play the tape forward, that's how they get fewer and far in between. Yeah,
well, I've talked about Cooper's color code. I talked about that on the Joel and
That's
Saul.
a really interesting thing, by the way.
Yeah. Well, Cooper's color code, they battle. They use it in the military to plan for. It's like a level of alertness. You have the level white, which is denial. Nothing can go wrong. Sadly, that's what most of society lives on. Then the next level is yellow, where you're aware that things can happen. You're not super hyper vigilant, but you're aware that things, triggers can come up. And then you have orange, where you see a trigger come up, you start planning for how can I battle this? Like for instance, if I think Nate's gonna attack me from across the room there, boom, I think, okay, I can grab this, hit him with that. I can do this, hit him with that. I can go out that door there if I gotta avoid him. I can go out that window if I gotta avoid him. But start planning, and then level red is you're in the middle of battle. You're taking it on. You're dealing with the trigger right then and there. Yeah. And then that I think there's a level black that you've gone too far. You've blacked out.
Yeah.
But it's having these levels of alertness has helped me to one, stay out of denial from when I'm screwing up, and then two, it's helped me to kind of find out how to avoid some of the triggers as they're coming up. It helped me deal with it before it gets there. Like you're saying, planning ahead. Here it comes. What am I going to do? And I hear a lot of people relate it to stories about when they're like going to Thanksgiving dinner. They're like, I'm going to go to Thanksgiving dinner, but everybody's going to be drinking there. What do I do? And it's like, well, we can plan for that kind of stuff where like one, drive your own car to get there so that if you get uncomfortable at any point, you can leave. You can just leave. And then two, don't plan for if the alcohol's right in front of you, what are you going to do then? If that's the issue, if your issue's alcohol and that's what you're battling with, or whatever it is, but that's just some of the things I've heard other people do that they were telling me were successful.
I mean, and you can't go your entire life with you're not always going to be able to decide what your surroundings are and what environment you're in. You got to just be able to eventually be okay with stuff being in front of you. As far as alcohol is concerned, because it is so prevalent across our country, you can do your best and you can purposely not go to bars. You can purposely do this or that, but you're never going to know, like you walk past a bum on the park bench and he's got a paper bag. Like you can't always.
Yeah. I mean, but what do you do to prepare yourself for that?
For sure. That's what I'm saying. Though.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Nate, you're give me the kratom's right in front of you. What did you do did you tell anybody that they had?
No, I believe sternly in not snitching.
Okay, here's my thing.
Snitches get stitches.
Here's my thing. If you're in prison, don't snitch. If you're in rehab and you don't tell that other people brought drugs in, I think you should never be allowed back at a rehab again. I think that you should be kicked out, and I think you're a scumbag. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
No, but
I feel crappy about it.
I do have
putting
a thing,
someone's life at jeopardy.
You absolutely are when you don't tell, because here's the thing: rehab is a safe place. People are supposed to be going. It's not fair to you that somebody had that substance in front of you. And I feel like the snitching thing, I've spoke up many times in rehab about here's drugs, they're in there, and I don't care. I don't care if people think it's snitching. It's not. It's my safe place when I'm in treatment. I'm there to get sober, and I'm going to protect my safe place. I'm going to protect the others around me safe place.
That's the whole point of rehab, is to be able to go somewhere where you are safe from all of that, and it's not. Yeah, I don't
believe in the snitching thing. I don't know. I mean, everybody's point of view is different on that. I get a little fired up about it because I've seen people in treatment centers trying to get sober, that going through detox, there was substances already snuck in still, and the person just couldn't get the fuck away from it. And it's like, this is where we came to get away from it, and they just couldn't.
Fucked up.
And
that's my whole problem with the kratom thing too, man. You were just talking about kratom. It's like I told you guys about on another episode, is sure, it's not drugs per se. I guess if some people are looking at it like that, it's not a controlled substance, but
it's still a drug. It's still
I know. I think of it as one as well. But what I'm saying is, people think it's a non-narcotic or whatever. It's not going to show up on a test. Fuck all that, because when you bring it into a rehab, so you can pass your tests, and everyone thinks it's a fun thing to do, it's just stupid. It's taking people out, and I've seen people go out because they started with kratom.
Yeah, unacceptable.
Yeah,
The kratom subject on the outside of rehab, obviously any substances in rehab, I think nobody should be sneaking it in. There's a reason why you're sneaking it in, because you shouldn't have it. And, but as far as kratom on the outside of rehab, for somebody who's a non-addict, I think it could be beneficial.
For sure.
I know somebody very close to me that I don't know if they were an addict or not. It seemed like they struggled at some point, but regardless, this person, she has a lot of issues with pain, right? A lot of issues with pain, and has been able to stop using narcotics completely.
Yeah, much safer alternative for sure.
Yeah, man, and real low
case.
doses of it, and it's really helped her out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Same thing with marijuana, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you know, it's not for everyone, but I think that there are some good uses for it.
Yeah, you know, I personally can't. Like you know, but yeah, I've seen people. You know, everybody's that thing too is everybody's different. You know what I mean? It's But yeah, but I do sometimes wonder with the kratom thing if it should be controlled maybe, or at least prescribed by doctors, because I've done it myself and it's been powerful, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, it shit felt like I was taking Norcos and Vicodin, but it's as harmful as caffeine. That's what you're dealing with it. Yeah, it should never be brought into a treatment center. That's gonna you know, cross the dick. People are then gonna want to go use opiates or something like that. But
and for anyone who's listening now that's in rehab, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah, it'll get you to do your vice for sure.
Oh, absolutely, it could. You know,
no guarantees.
Yeah, no guarantees.
Why risk it?
Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, it was difficult, man, because like I wanted to say something because I was in an uncomfortable position because I finally wanted to fight for my sobriety, and all these guys are throwing theirs away right in front of me. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to snitch on them because, like, I don't know. I didn't want to be that guy, you know?
Well,
I do want to be that guy.
How good did it feel, though, being the only one who didn't and just staying strong through that?
It's probably the first time I ever felt proud of myself.
There you go.
Yeah,
so
that's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
By the way, that's...
Because I didn't snitch, I felt better because I'm like, you know what? They got caught anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't have to snitch, and I still prevailed. So, like, I feel proud of myself.
Nice, man. You should be proud of yourself. You know, you should be very proud to get away from that and to escape that. Not everybody can do that, you know. So, do you work a 12-step program? What do you work? You go to an AA, don't you?
I mean, I do, but I've never really worked AA. I'm kind of really unfamiliar with it, but I'm kind of working it. I'm currently, I would say, on step 6.
Okay.
Where you're kind of, step 5 is where you work and notice your character defects, and then 6 you offer them up to God to kind of like remove them.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, Hoodie's more familiar with it. I do know the steps and the principles behind them. I've said it before. I like them, and I like that. I think it's a great way to live.
For sure.
Yeah.
I haven't gone through and worked them myself. I've read them and I know what's behind them, but I know that they can be beneficial. It's just I've found alternative ways that have helped me, you know.
Exactly.
What were you gonna say, Hoodie?
I wasn't.
No, you're
I was signing something to you.
Sign it.
Anyways.
You want me to do my thing? Is that what you're wanting?
No.
Oh, okay.
Next.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So, Joel, you've been quiet over there, man.
Yeah, usually I don't get the fourth mic in here, so
I love having it.
Dude, can I just say it is so hot in here, man?
It's brutal.
That's why I can't concentrate. I'm like literally, I should not have worn a sweatshirt for sure.
Hey, Joel, you've struggled with depression, right? With your bipolar issues.
Yeah.
What do you do on a daily basis to stay away from that? To stay out of your depression?
Medications, which I don't think any of you guys take or anything, but I definitely do. That's a part of the management, that and therapy.
Nice.
That's the
key. You need it.
Yeah. So you've seen the medication in your experience, it's helped.
Yeah, and that's just the underlying thing. You also got to exercise and get good sleep.
Yeah,
and eat
I
well.
I completely agree.
All those 5 things I think I just mentioned are the keys.
For sure.
So you have a whole kind of combination of things that you're doing. You're doing exercise. You're doing getting good sleep. You're on medication. You know, walk me through a day in Joel's life. How do you maintain your sobriety, man. Joel?
So first thing in the morning, take my morning meds.
Okay.
I have a little note on my phone. It says, it's a little reminder. It tells me every day at 6 a.m. I have to do this. And
Same time every day.
I check it off every day. And then I make my bed.
Yeah.
And then I go to the bathroom, and then I start my day.
Okay. And then I just so
routine.
Yeah. I fucking
sick. And then I brush my teeth, starting with the left.
Well, I don't think that's.
fucking love
I
you.
mean, it's just those are three basic things I think we all kind of
you know
do.
what?
Yeah.
That's important though.
There's something
Having a
along those
routine
lines.
is huge.
Huge, man.
So good for you.
Yeah,
Because
that's awesome.
I'm not as good about it.
Dude, I'm terrible. I like to do that. I set my alarm. I can't even wake up at the same time every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like snooze half the
I
time.
set 20 of them, and whichever one I decide to get up on is when I'm getting up.
I feel you.
Yeah. Oh man. Dude, it's so fucking hot.
Dude,
in here.
Yeah.
Joel, what's the clock at?
oh my
We're
God.
at almost 30 minutes.
We're gonna have to cut this one short tonight, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm dying of heat right now.
Okay. Pause for a minute, man.
So keep that.
We took a little break there for a second. It was fucking hot in here. I'm sorry, guys, but you didn't know that we even disappeared because it cut like really quick. We're gonna
magic.
keep this one a little shorter, but we want to close with something good here. You know, I'd like to know from you, Nate, what has been the biggest difference in your life? What was your life like before treatment, and then after? What's been the biggest differences?
Well,
Can
to
you
start
talk-
with,
yeah,
like,
there we go.
when I was 21,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really an alcoholic till 21 because, wasn't able to get alcohol. But
Yeah.
once I got 21, you know how it is, like when you first start using any drug or any substance of any sorts, you enjoy it, 'cause
In
it
your
keeps you going.
experience.
Yeah, my experience. But, like, when I first started drinking, I was having a hell of a time for, like, the first year.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't depressed at all.
Right.
But the more you use and the more you use, the more depressed you get, even when you're on whatever substance.
That's how it felt
me.
for you. So
Yeah.
you were using it to get away from the depression, but it was causing more depression.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Because, like, the last 2 years of drinking, I just could see it, but I wanted to deny it.
Mm-hmm.
Where I could see myself slowly slipping into this depression, even when I'm drunk.
Mhm.
When I remember feeling alive and just, like,
So
having the
it
best
stopped
time of my
working.
life.
Alcohol's a depressant in
Definitely.
itself.
That's very true. Yeah, we put all these depressants into our body, opiates, alcohol, and then we're wondering why. Like when we come off them, we're like, why are we so
Yeah,
depressed?
why?
It's like,
Right.
well, we put
Doesn't
these,
make any sense.
we put these depressants in our body.
Yeah.
So okay, so then what's it like now that you're no longer using any of these substances and you've had time away from them, away from alcohol, away from drugs? What does your body feel like? Well, how do you feel?
Well, can I share a story with you?
Yeah. What you got?
Well, so to kind of give you an idea of where I was at before treatment,
Yeah.
I would say the last year of drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, happier when I would drink the first time, and it was like when I first started drinking, I was the life of the party.
Right.
Then the last year, I was just that dude who was in the corner, just like, even though I was drunk and high and had every substance I could put in my body,
Right.
I was just miserable still. It was just like I was a little tiny bit more numb.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
And I would just sit there quiet by myself, and it was like even my friends could see it. They saw the change in me.
Oh, so other people, were they saying things? Were they?
They kind of didn't want to address it, but there was a few times where my friend would be like, "Nasty, I'm worried about you, dude. Like, you used to be a lot more alive, and now you're like,
Yeah.
Now you're nasty.
Now you're
a lot more clean. I see
living
you
up to
there."
your name.
Definitely. But, yeah, and there's this one time, I feel like this was kind of a rock bottom for me,
Okay.
but like I said, I didn't want to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
We never do.
Yeah,
Right.
that's definitely part of being an alcoholic for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is I didn't want to believe it,
Yeah.
and
Denial.
there's this one party I was at, I was getting shit faced and whatnot, and I was with this girl at the time, and
There's always a girl, isn't there, Joel? There's.
that-
See, you're not alone.
real,
in that,
though.
man.
Not
you know all
alone.
about that, don't you, Saul?
I do. All of us, man.
it's true though. I've learned by being sober this time that females were actually one of the main reasons
hold
I
on.
relapsed.
Okay, but I do
Well-
want to be clear. When I say that, I'm saying my own inhibitions, my own
Exactly.
that has been through. It's not females aren't
Girls,
the problem.
yeah, they
I
weren't
have
the
the
reason.
problem. It's my reasons.
No, yeah,
But that's just been where. Yeah.
yeah. No,
So
totally.
I'm not blaming women.
I'm not blaming them either.
It's
no.
myself. Yeah. it's-
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. But so there was this, chick I was dating at the time, and I was shit faced, having a good time. And she pulls me aside to talk to me, and she pretty much tells me like she wants some space.
Mm-hmm.
But the way my drunk mind took it was like, we're done, we're breaking up.
Right.
And I just went to the
Overreaction.
extreme. But I was like, okay. She
Yeah.
leaves. I go into like this extreme depression immediately,
Checks out.
and then I black out. Because I was like, from the depression, I just took this bottle, remember chugging it, then I black out.
These are my favorite stories. I've said before. I like stories that we don't remember.
Yeah, have to be told to us by someone else.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so I don't remember what happened really, except for I kind of woke up, not like visually, but like I was hearing things, like people around me, and they're like, I guess I was throwing up over this dude's patio. I felt so bad.
Who'd have thought?
Damn it, dude.
I bet he was very happy about that.
He was so happy.
So what happens?
So people were just telling me like, dude, we're here for you. And I guess, I don't remember this, but I was mumbling and saying stuff like, fuck off, you're not my friends. You know, the cliche nasty Nate blackout stage shit I say when I black out is like, fuck off, you're not my friend, kill me, I'll kill you. Actually, not that I'll kill you, but kill me, I'll fight you if you don't kill me. Stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
And then fucking... Yeah, they tell me like, "Oh, we're your friends, we're your family."
So they're helping. They're trying to talk you into what?
Trying to, but that actually triggered something deep inside me. Where I think part of the reason I struggle with depression and suicidal tendencies was I felt like I didn't have a family because of the background I had.
Right.
I didn't really have true friends because of friends, you know, kind of betraying me in the past.
You feel like you didn't deserve their love?
I think that's part of it. Okay. Definitely.
So did you do any therapy or anything? How did you get
when I got in
that
treatment?
point?
Yes, and it really helped.
Okay.
But this, what do you call it? So they tell me, you know.
Yeah.
They're my friends, my family. I snap. Like that's when I actually come to consciousness.
Right.
And like was like screaming at them like, "Not my fucking friends, you're not my fucking family." And everyone's like, "Dude, chill out." And I just like snapped and literally just darted off, ran away. And I lived like maybe 5 miles away.
Oh my goodness!
And I was like, I didn't have a ride home because the chick
didn't need one.
The chick was
went for a nice jog.
I'm gonna blackout jog my way home.
Lucky.
Yeah, I didn't drive though. The chick that I was with drove, but she left. So
okay,
she really wanted space.
Can't imagine why.
I just remember walking and just like literally just screaming out loud to myself like 3 a.m. on the sidewalk down the road, just like pretty much cursing myself and cursing life and just saying how much I hate life. I want to fucking die. And then there's this point where there's a cop literally sees me like belligerent drunk, like screaming and flailing my arms, punching poles while I walk past.
No, what happens when
he slows down? Unfortunately, he didn't do anything, but I tried to get him to do something. Because the second I saw him, I start screaming at him. I'm like, "Fuck you, fucking pig! What are you gonna do? I'm shit-faced. Arrest me! Fucking!" I'm literally like trying to egg him on. Cause in my head, I was actually like wanting him to get out, and I wanted him to pull his gun out, and I really wanted to do something to get him to shoot me.
Suicide by a cop, huh?
Yeah, I pretty much wanted him to kill me, so it was like suicide pretty much.
That's dark, man. That's dark.
And he didn't even do anything. He just looked at me, shook his head, and then drove off. And I got even more mad. Because I'm like, how the fuck are you going to do that to me?
So
like, I was so mad. And
jeez, man.
I woke up the next day in my bed, and I don't remember the rest of the way home.
So tell me this. I mean, that's really dark, man. That's a dark place to be. A place where you're kind of wanting to end it, and you're feeling alone. Distance from everybody. You're using substances to try to feel better, and it's just making it worse. And you finally go to treatment and go through some therapy, and you give into that kind of stuff. And how is your life different now? Do you still have those feelings? Do you still?
No.
Good.
Like, I didn't want to be in treatment at first. Mm-hmm. But after my 3rd week, I started finally coming out of that cloud, and I finally started seeing things more clearly, and actually started to feel a little bit better. Yes. And then as time goes on, a little bit more and more and more, to the point where by the time that kratom thing was going on at my house, I was starting to actually just enjoy my life and not feel depressed anymore, and definitely not suicidal. And that's what kept me from relapsing, because I was like, this is the first time I actually, for literally like a 10-year period, where I'm not depressed and suicidal. I'm not fucking throwing this away, because this is like pure
major,
gold.
man. Yeah,
I can't risk it. And there's been literally 10 times since I've been sober where I've had shit offered to me or right in my face, and still I play that tape where I'm like, no, I actually can sit down, do fucking nothing, and still enjoy my life.
Dude, doesn't it feel so good just passing all that shit by and just staying where you're at and keep on moving in the direction you're heading? I mean,
definitely.
it's just, there's almost no feeling better than that.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's free.
Yeah. But like, I don't feel depression, suicidal, even when I am feeling lonely or just upset with life.
Yeah.
I literally think my first thought goes to, am I depressed? Nope. Am I suicidal? Nope. life's pretty good.
Well, it's I say this a
handle the
lot.
rest.
You know,
Exactly.
people that have oh man, people that have struggled with our disease. It's one thing that is, you know, a benefit from having gone through this is like we appreciate things that just other people can't. They'll never get to appreciate it as much as we do. Just things like I hear people say, you know, I got to sleep on a bed last night, you know?
Right.
Or just I didn't wake up sick today.
Yeah.
You know, it's just these things that everybody else that's just regular life from. But it's like this is our normal.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, once you've
Totally.
been so low and hit that rock bottom, I mean, there's just almost everything else is just so much better.
Exactly.
There's we definitely, well, me, at least me, for myself,
Yeah.
I appreciate everything a lot more.
Me
like
too,
a
man.
lot.
Yeah.
Me too.
Hey, I feel the same.
Well, guys, it is hot as hell in this room.
So
I know
hot
this
again.
has been a short episode. I know we haven't, you know, maybe been the most exciting because of me, because I've just
Hot.
been out of it hot in
You
this
have
room.
a sweatshirt on.
I know.
And a hat.
I have a U on. I got a hoodie on.
Hey, we talked about that.
But Nate, you kept us alive here, man. I appreciate your stories. You shared a lot, and it was great, man. Thank you for coming on the show. And as always, you know, I want to thank my co-host over there, Brian Hoodie.
That's me.
And Joel Cowan, our producer.
Thanks, Saul.
And we will talk to you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Thanks for joining my show.
And once again this week, we are going to be played out by Agent Papa. Take us away.
Hey little Sally, what you got in that sack? You're looking tough, like you ain't coming back. Hey little Sammy, when are you going to fly?